Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 54 of the Intermission Podcast, the show where two film graduates discuss classic, iconic, and obscure films from times gone by. We're your hosts, Oscar W. Fitchett.
And I didn't realise we were starting. I was just sending a message to Julia. I'm rolling to it, I'm good to see it.
Let's get going, and then that happened. There you go, catching off guard.
Shit, son.
Well, I was going to say something, and then you said that thing, so then that took me off guard. So we both took each other.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened here. Now we're just in the middle of a podcast. Shit.
And now we found ourselves in a podcast.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so it was the best episode, and it's interesting that one of the directors of Across the Spider-Verse directed that.
Yeah, man.
Whole thing? I think the all 4 episodes.
That
yes. Feels right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to confirm or deny that, but
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I'm interested. Interested is the wrong word. I'm something about this live action one.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not like holding out any hope for it whatsoever.
I think I said we might have even said it on a podcast. Just a live action retelling of Aang's story is not exciting to me.
Yeah.
just like I'm fine with a live action Avatar show, but I don't see why we need Aang's story.
Yeah, I get that. Because I don't like things like that where people's argument is, well, if you don't like this, you've still got the original. And I'm like, okay, well then why make it? Because if the original's good, why not just do a live action like story about a different Avatar? I don't know. I
get the argument to an extent in the way of like that, like whatever, like so, like another bad thing in a property doesn't equal the property's now bad. I get that because I remember I know some people when absolutely raging about a certain thing in a property goes, this has ruined the franchise. He goes, nothing's if a franchise is that good anyway, a bad thing won't ruin it.
No,
it just won't be good. It'll
just be the bad portion of it.
Yeah, the bad thing is being like, this was good, why is it shit now? So that's like what that is. But no, hey, maybe that's right. That's towards the end of the.
What are you saying?
Bit. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I was going to say, well, maybe we might get a bad. We're talking about a franchise that has had some bad in it.
Oh yeah.
With it, how it ended this season. We ended it with a.
I don't know what you could possibly mean.
Oh, that's the thing I can mention.
Oh yeah.
That it's not necessarily a call out on you, although I am going to be calling you out at a certain point in this episode. But this isn't a call out. But this is something I just realized as well. There was I can't remember which. It was some episode this season.
Yeah.
And I think we were on about what got brought up. A 4th film in a franchise got brought. Oh, that's right. I was on about Ocean's 8. How I'd seen Ocean's 8, and I was like, yeah, Ocean's 8 weren't good. You went, yeah, it's the 4th one in a franchise. They're never good. And then I mentioned like, oh well, like you got Scream 4, you got Halloween 4. But the other thing that popped in my head was like Ghost Protocol.
Oh yeah, Ghost Protocol's pretty good.
It's arguably one of the upper edge. It's one of the better ones.
Yeah. It's probably the second best one. I haven't seen Dead Reckoning yet, so I don't have that.
I think
Fallout's the best one.
Yeah. I still like 3 over 4, but only just.
Yeah, okay.
Upon my recent rewatch of them all, because I used to have Rogue Nation above Ghost Protocol. Now I've switched them. Now I like Ghost Protocol more than Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
But for they're both. I mean, it depends what you want from your Mission Impossibles, really. But Ghost Protocol's more like it's a really non-stop action. Like it's just action set piece constantly.
I think I prefer it to. Yeah, I prefer it to Rogue Nation.
Yeah, Rogue Nation is more like let's build a world. Let's world build. I was like, okay, that's still cool.
Yeah. But it's like I don't know. I've seen Rogue Nation like it must be like 3 times now, and I can't remember anything that happens in it except the plane bit, and it's like the opening.
The beginning.
I have no idea.
I'm trying to remember.
Isn't it the one where there's like an evil IMF or something?
Yeah. Which is the thing that follows on into into Fallout. That's the one where obviously that's Rebecca Ferguson's intro. So you got like the opera scene. You've got Is that the one with? Oh, that's the one where he holds his breath underwater as well. That's that film.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I always think that's 3 for some reason, but it's not.
That's like not even like.
It's fucking way back. Like
3's like so far back in bed of rotation. You're looking at like nearly a decade in between
holy
that.
Shit.
No, 3 had the just the really long run.
Oh, he did he did a real long run in like a. Was that like a?
Hong Kong, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say like some Asian country.
Yeah, I think it was Hong Kong. But that also had Philip Seymour Hoffman, which I still think is the best film in that franchise.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
It opened with the interrogation of him shooting his girlfriend, but then spoiler for Mission Impossible 3, we get to that scene finally, and it was really a fucking mask.
It's a fucking mask. Holy shit!
Oh,
also, that's the one where he gets fucking like explosioned into a car, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Physics don't quite work, but it's cool as fuck.
It's
so
fucking cool.
That's so cool. Yeah, no, I really like that. Really like that one. But yeah, I think we could just maneuver into.
Oh shit! Do you want to talk about a movie?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily have any more things to say. I guess we could. I guess we could traditionally just leave the rest of the bullshit how we used to do it.
Yeah, I
the
guess.
Intermission.
Yeah,
I
have a. Can I show off my background for a second?
Yeah, go on.
So I think the bit of it's kind of lost. So, what Skype has cropped out whilst putting this on. All of the characters have been replaced with either dogs or cats, by the way, and it's called Indiana Bones. And the Raids of the Lost Bark.
That's funny.
Thank you.
So, are you going to do another one for like next week as well?
Yes, I've already found one.
All right. Well,
also, I would like to say as well before we begin that I had a whole bit planned.
Right.
Because I did the Otley run recently, dressed as Indiana Jones. I was gonna come on here in my Indiana Jones costume. Completely forgot that Mum and my sister came up the other week.
They
were like, "Do you need this? Do you want us to take this hat back?" And I was like, "I won't need it anytime soon." Well, stupid idiot. So if I go home this weekend, maybe I'll be in full Indiana Jones cosplay next week.
Hey, maybe.
I don't want to promise anything.
Hey, I mean, we don't have a Tyler tale, just to tell people that as well.
Yeah, apologies. Yeah, we don't have a Tyler tale. I've had no reports from my. Do you want
to like? I know we said we're gonna say because we did. We finished the first half of this fucking season, and then that was the end of the Tyler tale. And when we came back afterwards, and you're like, "Yeah, I haven't got a Tyler tale." And then like the next following week, still don't have a Tyler tale. We made the decision that you were like, "Okay, for like the trilogy, we'll do. That's it for the end of the season. That's what it is. We started it. Don't have a Tyler tale. Do you just want to say for the final one, you want to make it like a movie?
I'll do that. I'll do an extended one. For the final episode
like a
of the
big,
season.
like a big, like like how like some people may go like, oh, like you had Firefly and then Serenity, or like if you're a weeb, there's Neon Genesis Evangelion, and then the anime series ended, but then they had the film, the end of Evangelion, which is apparently amazing, which I haven't seen either. I've heard good things.
No, okay.
The big robot. It's a big robot fight anime type shit, from my understanding.
It was the way that you were talking about it made it seem like you were a big weeb.
I mean, it depends. Depends on the day.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I mean, I'm a bigger weeb than you, but I'm most certainly not a weeb in the extent of like I haven't watched a single Naruto. I don't.
Okay.
I haven't. Like I watched One Piece when I was like a kid. But then I wasn't following it. Like I'm not like I don't know what I'm not, but it's like what is it? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Haven't seen or read that. Yeah. So there's I'm a selective weeb. I still haven't finished Vinland Saga yet. Still need to finish season 1 of that. I
like selective weeb as a title.
I'm a selective weeb. I mean,
he's a picky weeb.
Yeah, I mean I love Berserk. Still, but the thing is, love Berserk the anime. Still need to read the manga. Like that's a dense thing. So like I haven't. So you know what I mean? It's like I mean, Cowboy Bebop I'm big on that.
Yeah.
Which equates to me being more disappointed about. I didn't even finish the Netflix show. That was the thing. I'm not even bothering with that. So that's why I don't necessarily have much faith with the Last Airbender Netflix show.
I don't know. The costumes look good, but who knows?
We'll see. We'll find out.
That a good costume doth not make
Absolutely
good
not.
television,
Absolutely not.
as the Old Testament said.
Is there a strong example of something that was like looking great, and then the thing came out, and then we're like, how did we ever think that was going to be good?
Yeah, Suicide Squad, I guess.
I thought Suicide Squad and BVS. Genuinely, I did think that was
I mean, Suicide Squad's the example in my head that I go to because I'm like,
which are you on
it
about?
was
David
the original.
Ayer?
Yeah.
You know,
Because it was like, stacked with Oscar winners. Trailers looked great. I liked the director. He'd done exclusively good films at the time.
He did End of Watch.
Yeah. And he'd already done Fury at that point as well, which is also great.
Did he already do Fury at that point?
Yeah, that was 2014. And then what a big piece of shit.
Not good film at all, that.
Yeah, dear God. But Killer Croc did do his little crocodile run into the water.
He did do that.
It's the only like mental gif that plays in my head every time I think about that movie.
I can't recall that. I can't think of that.
No, his little fucking croc run into the water.
I'll
send you it right now.
Okay.
You introduced the film.
But while you do that, I want to show off my background because. Do you think what are you thinking right now?
I know exactly what it is. It's Chris Stuckman.
I've got his big old face. I've got like his big old face of when he did the of his old Indiana Jones films. I've decided for season 5 finale, I'm throwing out the serious backgrounds and I'm gonna have some fun.
Nice.
And so stay tuned to next week. Also, do you know what I want to do? I want to get another poll. I want to get the first poll in a long time started on the Innie Missy.
Oh yeah.
On the Innie Missy Insty Grimmy.
Yeah, awful. Worst thing I've ever said, maybe.
I don't know about that.
Well, probably not.
Let's not fact check it.
Yeah.
But I want to. I'm gonna give a big old smile to the Instagram, Robbie. There you go. Okay, cool. So I want to Jesus Christ. I want to throw a thing out on. It's not a poll actually. I just realized I called it. How do you? Is this no? This is me trying to like work out Instagram actually. Here it is. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. I'm gonna ask the Intermission followers, what film do you want to? I'm just curious about what people would want to hear us talk about in future episodes.
Okay, yeah.
Just to get like I want to see the landscape of it all. What's interesting, Robbie, as well, because I'll be looking at the analytics, as in the views for this season, and hang on, and for that, before we get to the episode, out of curiosity, Robbie, what do you think is the most viewed episode on the YouTube channel from this season? I'll read to you what episodes have been in this season.
Yeah.
We got the Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
We got The Big Boss.
Mm-hmm.
We got The General.
Yeah.
Modern Times. The Red Shoes. The Apartment. Throne of Blood. Hero. Barbenheimer. And Come and See. What out of that lot? What would you think is like? I don't know, like the top or like top 3.
Probably Shawshank.
You think that's like probably the most viewed?
Yeah, I would have thought so.
It is absolutely not.
Ah.
Shawshank has got. I don't think it's one of the least. It's in the latter stage of the view count. I will say that.
Okay. Yeah.
We have 3 video. Is it 3? 1, 2, 3. We have 4 videos with surpassing 100 views.
Okay.
We've got with one of them being at 107 views is The Big Boss, Bruce Lee, coming in somewhat strong.
Yeah, good stuff.
108 views. It's only from last week. It's Come and See.
Oh, bloody hell. That's pretty good.
194 views is Modern Times, a Charlie Chaplin film. And 248 views is Throne of Blood, another samurai film.
Oh, wow.
Which seems to be quite consistent. Barbenheimer, 40 views.
Yeah, interesting.
So I don't know what that necessarily means.
Yeah.
But yes. but I'm going to ask on the Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. What film would you like us to talk about in the future?
Yeah.
There you go. That's a. What film would you like us to talk about in the future? That's cool. I'll tag me and you on that, so we can get that spread, and also share the poll.
Yeah, boy.
I get that spread, and then I corrected myself, being like, and also share the spread.
Because it sounds gross.
Because well, butter.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So you made it gross there. So
sorry. so that's on you.
So that's on you actually. But anyway, so that's shared now. And with that being said, Robbie, should we venture on into?
Let's fucking jump into it, man.
And so for this week we are. Oh God! And for this week we are starting off a trilogy to end this season 5, with the trilogy being the original Indiana Jones trilogy. That and the first film within that. Hang on a minute, it's not sharing. I'll sort that out a bit. With the first film in discussion in the finale is the 1981 action-adventure film Raiders of the Lost Ark. The film was directed by Steven Spielberg, written by Lawrence Kasdan, based on a story by George Lucas and Philip Kaufman. The film stars Harrison Ford, Karen Allen, Paul Freeman, Ronald Lacey, John Rhys-Davies, and Denholm Elliott. The plot synopsis of the film, according to IMDb, is in 1936, archaeologist and adventurer Indiana Jones is hired by the U.S. government to find the Ark of the Covenant before the Nazis can obtain its awesome powers. Accolades the film holds a 93% on the tomato meter and an audience score of 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. It holds a score of 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb, placing it at number 58 in their top 250 films of all time. It also holds a score of 4.2 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd, and it places number 211 on BFI's Sight and Sound Greatest Films of All Time list, tied with Limite, Pink Flamingos, Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me, 20 Years Later, Melancholia, Army of Shadows, The Deer Hunter, In a Lonely Place, Suspiria, Brief Encounter, All About Eve, Duck Soup, and By the Bluest Seas. It won 1 Grammy for Best Original Score for a Motion Picture or Televised Special. It was nominated for 1 César Award for Best Foreign Film. It was nominated for 1 Directors Guild of America Award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Motion Pictures for Steven Spielberg. It was nominated for 1 WGA, Writers Guild of America Award for Best Comedy Written Directly for Screen for Kasdan, Lucas, and Kaufman. I know. It was nominated for 1 Golden Globe for Best Director for Steven Spielberg. Nominated for 9 Saturn Awards. For Best Costumes and Best Supporting Actor for Paul Freeman, and won 7 Saturn Awards for Best Special Effects, Best Music, Best Writing, Best Director, Best Actress for Karen Allen, Best Actor for Harrison Ford, and Best Fantasy Film. It was nominated for 7 BAFTAs, including the Anthony Asquith Award for Music, Best Supporting Artist for Denholm Elliott, Best Sound, Best Cinematography, Best Editing, Best Film. It won 1 BAFTA for Best Production Design, and it was nominated for 9 Academy Awards for Best Original Score for John Williams, Best Cinematography for Douglas Slocum, Best Director for Steven Spielberg. Did I say Best Original Score for John Williams? If I didn't, there it is. Best Picture, and it won 4 Academy Awards for Best Visual Effects, Best Film Editing for Michael Kahn, Best Sound, and Best Art Direction. So, certainly not a film without its accolades is the best way. And also it's just one of the most iconic films ever, quite frankly. It just is.
I've never been pissed off whilst you read out the accolade section of a film. But this film being nominated for a Best Comedy Script Award or winning?
It nominated for, yeah.
Makes no sense for a start. The other one that kicked me off, that annoyed me, tied with The Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
What fucking stupid cunt decided that?
Well, it's a multitude. It's a part of the BFI where they get like a load of critics. So it's an amalgamation of votes.
So a massive bunch of knobheads, basically. So I'm never trusting BFI ever again. Is what you're telling me? Okay. Sick. What the fuck?
So Raiders of the Lost Ark, and we're solely going to be talking about Raiders. We're not. We'll try not to like talk about the whole fucking property of Indiana Jones. We'll try to like isolate the discussion solely as a film, an episode.
Yeah.
So, I'll say my relationship with this film prior to this viewing is I never grew up with Indiana Jones. I will say that it wasn't one of my nostalgia watches. It's one of these things where I've been always aware of it though. I've always been aware of Indiana Jones. I can't, it's just so part of the zeitgeist, pop culture, anything. I've always been aware of it. First time I ever watched it might have been about a bit over a decade ago, while I was still getting the film. So, I watched Raiders for the first time. Might have been about 16 or 17 when watching it. And this is my second time watching this film. Actually, since then, I haven't watched the film since.
What?
I'll say my piece on the film. Robbie, your whole thing with after you say your whole thing with it, what's your whole thing with this film?
This is one of the greatest movies ever made. Just for a start, by the way. I grew up watching this. I probably saw it for the first time when Crystal Skull was coming out. So when I was about 7-ish, 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was about 7-ish, me and my dad watched them all, and I instantly fell in love with this. I had a hat that I wore when I was pretending to be Indiana Jones, which I still have, which is the same hat that I wore on the Otley Run. Way too big for me then. Fits like a fucking glove now, mate. So who's the real winner? I specifically asked for a specific bag that I wore to high school, which looked like Indiana Jones's bag. His little fucking satchel thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think I've got kind of a similar one.
Yeah, my dad tried to get me a thing that looked like that because that's what I wanted. He just got me a fishing bag. But it was, it kind of counts. I had the whip, which I had like a bunk bed when I was a kid, and I had it fucking tied to the top bunk, and then I'd fucking swing off it. It was great. So, these films generally are very near and dear to my heart. Raiders isn't my favorite one. We'll get to that next week. No, can you imagine? Can you imagine if fucking Temple of Doom was my favorite one? Dear God.
It wouldn't be something I haven't heard before from people.
It's Julia's favorite one, and I'll never understand it. I do not understand it at all. But yeah, I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Never fails to make me happy.
Cool.
It's incredible.
Cool.
What a movie.
And my thoughts in a nutshell on Raiders is it's good.
I will rip out your throat.
It's good. It's good. I don't have a negative. I don't have necessarily like a strong negativity towards this. It's not a film that I neither feel passionate about as well. For similar reasons, I guess with Jurassic Park, I'm not high on Spielberg. I'm not a big Spielberg guy. Is my thing. There's a lot I do appreciate about Raiders of the Lost Ark, though. It is, but also I don't need to ever see this film again, and I'm fine. Like I've watched it. I can maybe go another decade or two without seeing this film, and I'll be okay. And that's my thing with this.
What
with
the
Raiders.
fuck are you talking about? Oh man, it's gonna be one of these episodes.
Hey, no, I'm gonna let you lead a lot of this. To be fair, because again, this is a one that means a lot to you. I've got notes down.
Okay, good.
I've got because I wanted to get as I was watching. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna I haven't done a note episode in a while actually, but I've got shit down again. It's about 50-50 in terms of negative's not even necessarily the word. There's nothing in this film where I'm like, yo, fuck that moment. It's just like, oh, that's an odd thing that need to that's a thing that's flagged up in my head where it's because I always like to try to think it's like, okay, this film doesn't click with me, then why doesn't it? Because apparently it clicks with most other people. Why not me? So I think I've got something. I think, but anyway, Robbie,
yes.
What are some? I'll hand the whip over to you for the most.
Oh, thanks so much.
But what's like a pivotal point of this film that is, like a big, like what's a reason for you to like for this one to be a one that you love?
Everything about it, literally, so in my opinion, and it's the thing that I've argued with you about on many occasions. In my opinion, which means nothing, but Steven Spielberg is to me the greatest director who has ever lived, easily, without a shadow of a doubt. Nobody in the world, in the history of films, makes movies the same way Steven Spielberg does.
No, that's true. You know a Spielberg film when you see a Spielberg film.
It's like his blocking is insane. There's not a wasted moment in this. It moves at a fucking clip. The action sequences all hit incredibly. The music, obviously John Williams' score is possibly one of the greatest scores ever.
Yeah.
I would say.
I mean, I can get that.
But yeah, it's just like every moment is a cinematic moment. This is what, like, this movie and the way it's presented and directed and crafted is exactly why I like movies.
I thought you would go, everything is cinema. I thought
it is cinema. If this isn't what people make movies for, then what's the fucking point? I don't get it. Do you know what I did realize whilst watching this?
Go on.
I fucking hate the small section of people in the world known as letterboxd film fans. I hate them. I hate them all. If you're one of them, I'd like you to know I hate you.
What's an example? What's the
None of the Indiana Joneses are on the top 250 of all time on Letterboxd.
I don't. Well, all of them. Did you check that? Did you?
Yeah, none of them are on there. And hey, I'll just say this: when I was scrolling down it was at number 20 before I found a film that I think could possibly rival Raiders.
I mean, I disagree, but
just it's like what memorable fucking moments are there in Harakiri in comparison to this movie?
The Duel.
No.
Yes. You're saying that, and I'm saying The Duel. Yes.
I don't remember it
at
all.
Well, that's your fault.
That's not on me.
That's on you.
No.
Out of curiosity, I'm going to look at this actually, because if you get, so you're saying you get like 20, right? So we're looking at so Return the King.
Yeah.
Another one that I'm a bit with.
Insane.
I disagree, because obviously 12 Angry Men's number 3, and that's. I'm not going. You know where that stands with me.
I know it's one of your favorite movies, but I would say from a filmmaking standpoint, this is better in every way.
I mean, even if you can argue with that, number 4, Seventh Samurai, I think it's a better action film.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
bar
not.
None.
It is not a better action film at all.
Debate. I also think, and here's the thing as well. Right, I'll say the bit that I was about to say then, and I also just think Seven Samurai has multiple characters that I at least give a shit about. Raiders, maybe one being indie, and then that's it.
What the fuck?
And that's even saying it then for me personally. I'll read some notes.
Okay.
In the positive end of things, and then we can get on to. Again, I don't just have qualms with this. This is what I mean. This is a film that I'm completely like. It's not a film that I'm like, fuck this film at all. But it sits in a perfectly thing where I go like, yeah, it's good. And I'm not gonna find anyone saying it's shit, because it's not a shit film one bit. But does it evoke anything else to me. No, it doesn't really. Nothing else that any other films don't. Like there's moments in this film like, oh fuck yeah, that's cool, or like fuck yeah, that does something for me. But also, there's more films that do that for me, that exact thing, and others, and a bit more. So, but in terms of the positive end of it all, in terms of things I really liked, notes. We can break it down a bit more. I love the action sequences. That's like the moments in this film. Like there's nothing wrong with they're perfectly executed action. Excuse me, in all aspects, in terms of the choreography of it, how it's shot, the sound design of it all, the music composition when decided. It's just the fact that they're all practical. I love that I'm actually watching real shit happen, and that is something that I will always like. If I see a fake ass action scene, it doesn't matter. I could watch the exact same thing that I'm watching. I could watch someone running away from a boulder, but if it's a fake ass CGI boulder, it's going right through me. It's washing completely over me with like nothing doing to me emotionally. I'm watching white paper. You know what I mean? That's what like I'm see. If I see someone run away from a CGI boulder or CGI anything, I'm watching paint dry. That's the exact type of emotional response. I'm seeing an actual big ass boulder. Like yes, it's fake. Yeah. Like in terms of like it's a built. They didn't roll a real big rock at Harrison Ford, but I'm looking at Harrison Ford, real ass Harrison Ford, running in a real set. Yeah. With a with a real thing rolling behind him. That's just looking cool. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or like I'm seeing real ass Harrison Ford on an airplane taking off.
Dude, you know what I mean? The truck chase.
Phenomenal.
Insanely good. It's so good.
It's perfectly sequenced as well, if we're breaking that down specifically with the truck chase, where it's like he breaks in. First, again, any other action film could have had just a sequence of like the hero goes in the truck, throws one guy out, punches one other guy out, throws him out the door, and now he's driving the truck. He throws one guy out of the truck, he starts fighting another guy, he gets shot in the arm, still tries to drive, another guy comes in the truck, punches his arm, throws him off the truck. He's hanging on. The fucking car logo breaks off, so he has to hold onto the grill. They start snapping. He goes under the truck, whips the truck, starts
fucking sliding
along with it, climbs back on the truck, and then does all. You know what I mean? It's like that. Dude. It's a whole arc in a scene, which is like
it's so good. But this is one like if I can talk about the character of Indiana Jones for a second.
Go for it.
One of my favorite characters in movies generally. He's an incredible protagonist, and one of like, because he's charming to watch in the first place because he's Harrison Ford. He's funny, but he's also like incredibly knowledgeable, knows what he's doing, has agency, all of this stuff. But at the same time, he gets the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Constantly.
It's action hero 101. Although I do think, I did talk about this in The Big Boss. When talking about Bruce Lee, I do think you can make an invincible action hero work as well. You just need to do it right. But this is again, action hero 101, where like, give us a hero who gets the shit kicked out of him and has adversity to get over. It's just more invested that way. Yeah,
and like I think this, like, if we're gonna just talk about another thing that we disagree about, this is where like John Wick 4, this is why it lost me, because there's no sense of danger at all. He's just being shot in his bulletproof suit, and he does the same thing over and over again and kills all the other guys in their bulletproof suits, and it's like, okay. Whereas this, he's getting punched in the fucking head. He's going down. He's eating fucking dirt. He's spitting blood out because he's fucked. Because he's just a fucking history teacher. He's just getting
part-time.
Part-time. It's getting like the shit kicked out of him, and it just makes you. If he feels so like a real dude, I love it.
Yeah. Shit, have I only got like 3 notes that I like really like? I just looked at that.
You bastard. Rattle through them. I'm ready to juke it out.
No, to be fair, a lot of my notes are like, a lot of the notes are just expansions on one point. So that's not like, so it's not. Whereas, but like obviously that, again, to me, I do. If one about iconic, and this film is iconic, there's so many iconic. Again, there's action. The action scenes are iconic for a reason. You have like moments like the truck, the boulder, him sent off of the plane. I love the moment of where it's that sequence of where Marion first gets kidnapped. Yeah. And with the one of the results, him just shooting the guy with the sword. It's iconic and all that, great. But also the action stuff prior to that, also really good. That's the fun shit that I like. You know what I mean? Like how some people go, Raiders, you know what? The Indiana Jones films, they're just fun films that are also really good. They're really good fun films. I'm like, and yeah, the action is really fun, and it is all very like, let's get going, guys. Let's get going on a fucking adventure where we're punching folk. Yes, swinging on vines, get knocked on our ass, but getting back up, having fun little moments where it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna shoot you now because I can't be asked to fight you. I can't be asked to deal with this whole shit. There's a lot of cool moments like that, another positive point that I got on there. I love the cinematography in all aspects.
Oh my god!
I didn't realize how well shot this film is, and no, it's not showy good cinematography. It's not, but it's things where it's like, again, we're on about how iconic the film is. Yeah. Within the opening, when we get introduced to Indy, walks, the shadow walking in. Yeah.
Do you mean the greatest character introduction in cinema?
I mean the textbook way to introduce a character in a really good way.
Because this did it first. Continue.
It did character introductions first. There wasn't a character introduced until 1981. The fuck do you mean?
No. It's not textbook. It's not. So that's fine.
No, it is. It's really good.
It's not, but
it's really well done, and it's a thing that you look up and go, "This is a really good way how you introduce a character. You build up the mystique of him, and then you do it in a way of like you show a really cool ass shit that he does, and then you show him that. That's a. Again, you're trying to spin it like I'm saying as a negative. I'm not. It is. It's not my favorite character introduction, but it is. There's a reason why it's hailed up there as one of the best. It is. There's a reason because of it. And also within that introduction, you get him like when he's up to that little like fucking like golden. I don't know what is it that he's getting.
The idol. Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah. There's the glow on his face, and he's got like the sandbag, and he's iconic shot, which is really good. Oh. But then there's shit where it's like, I don't know, and obviously also that desert shot where they're silhouetted and they're digging and shit.
My God.
That's just a gorgeous frame. You know what I mean? That's just like. That's like shit like David Lean would have done, like Lawrence of Arabia type of like fucking like pieces of cinema in terms of that shot. And obviously the way the action shot, there's no like fucking shaky cam. We're seeing everything, seeing all the punches, seeing it. The airplane propeller, great.
It's such a good fight.
So good, it's good shit. Again, you talk about like, here's how you do a good way. You put a really big guy against our hero, and then how is he gonna do it? He gets out of it by the skin of his own teeth. Good shit. Really good shit in that regard. But then also, the stuff that I also appreciate in terms of cinematography-wise is the stuff when we're not doing the big, iconic action adventure moments. Where, again, Spielberg is kind of like really good at doing this. It's the Movie Masters. Where we get a whole scene done in one shot. Yeah. It's the moment where it's right before he sets off to get the Ark of Covenant, and he's talking to that fella when he comes into his flat or whatever, apartment or whatever, house, and then he's like
that fella.
Yeah. I can't remember names in this fucking film.
God.
There's a lot of like men that look the same in this. is what I'll say.
Oh my God.
But it's it's like we're moving. We go from the front door and we move in with them, and then we punch into an over the shoulder. Then we move out to a Y. Then we follow Harris. It's good stuff where you're just letting the actors perform, and the cinematography isn't showy, But it's just really well. Again, it's good. Was it David S. Sandberg that did a video on the Movie Master?
Yes, David S. Sandberg has a video on it.
Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah, so that'll explain it a lot better than I can ever do. But
yeah,
there's a lot of that in this film that just kind of gives that really like, I don't know, really good old school like just like filmmaking.
Well, that's
movies.
The thing, it's Spielberg's direction and blocking is. Yeah. It's just like nobody does it like him.
He clearly. I mean, no one does it like him. He clearly got that method because he's a big Hitchcock guy, and Hitchcock does a lot of the movie masters stuff. But again, but also Hitchcock does it in a Hitchcock way. Spielberg does it in a Spielberg way. You know what I mean?
It's just great. Like there's a one that I think of which like in this film which isn't. It's not even that important, but it's like after Marion's dead.
Great shot! The thing blows up.
Oh my god, so good. But like after she's supposedly died, he goes into that bar and he's like, "Was it you? Did you want to talk to me or whatever?" And then there's a shot where it's him and behind him is Baroque and he's sat there, but we can't see him yet. We know that he's there. Yeah. We've seen him because from over his shoulder. We've seen like the back of his head, and we're like, we know that he's there. Indy doesn't know he's there yet, and there's a guy stood in front of him in Indy's shot, and he fucking moves out of the way and reveals him or whatever, just as Indy's turning around.
Yeah,
it's like it's not necessary at all. Indy could have just turned around and seen that he was there, but that guy moving out of the way makes it a fucking movie moment.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Again, things like that, they're not showy, but I guarantee you. But I guarantee if they weren't there, there would just be something that doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been recently watching the Cinefix. They're doing a podcast on like going through like they compile like a list of like the 100 greatest films of all time type of thing, and they go like through a film each week. Excuse me. And they talked about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and they referred to a term "bump in the lamp," which was coined because of that. I don't know if you know about it, but it's like there's a moment of like in Who Framed Roger Rabbit of like when Eddie Valiant's got Roger Rabbit, and a light gets bumped and it starts swinging, and then through that obviously then Roger had to get drawn in the shadow each time it flew, and the whole point and the whole like coin of the term "bump in the lamp," meaning a thing that didn't need to happen to make the thing work, and it's not showy and noticeable, but the hard work's really there, and it does make the scene.
Yeah,
those bump in the lamp didn't need to happen, but you did it, and it fucking paid off. There's a lot of bump in the lamp moments again, as we said in Raiders, where it's like, is that a big showy moment? No, but if Indy just walked into that place and sat down. Compared to what we did get, we feel different, Would the average audience member been able to pinpoint it? No, but they know something's off. You know, not off as such, but no, they'll know it's not like, there's something. It's always going the extra mile. Is the film? It always is. It always is. Again, the film could have shaky cam like fuck to hide a lot of shit. Doesn't.
Yeah.
Phil, I know. I mean, they could have done because CGI wasn't necessarily a thing, but they could have cheapened out a lot of the action. They could have done, but they don't. There's a lot of it like that. That's really cool. In it. I got score is iconic.
Yeah. It's incredible.
I don't necessarily know what it's one of those ones where I can't. It's not a favorite score of mine. But it's the one that I'm like, well, I can't deny it's great. It's iconic. I can hum the indie theme. There's a lot. There's a really cool atmospheric. They do a lot of good moments in it where it's like, oh, well, that makes that moment. Where it's like, like little things like where it's just like little moments like that, or like, or, it's just, we don't hum those moments, but also that's also not what a film score's for. I will say a film score isn't designed to make you be like, I would love to listen to that independently. I mean, you can do. I haven't.
You can, sure.
I listen to very few film scores independently. I will say that. But the whole purpose of a film score is to make the film. And I can't. And I think John Williams is one of the best at that composer wise. Again, I mean, you can say like, I mean, Indy, Star Wars, fucking
Superman, Harry Potter,
E.T. You know, did I say Jaws? Jaws, anyway.
Jaws also, yeah.
But you know, he's and again, there's a reason for it. You know, there's a reason. There's a reason why things are iconic and things have stuck, just lodged in to.
Yeah, I think this film has like one of my favorite romance tracks ever. Is it in the moment where it's like here? Yeah, well, it's a couple of times. There's that bit. It's like just after she comes with him and they're going on the plane, and there's the plane montage thing, which again iconic. The fucking fade in between the map and the thing, and you see the red line going away.
Since we're bringing that up,
yes,
and you just mentioned anyway, that's the thing I wanted to call you out on.
Oh, fuck.
Your attack on cross dissolves.
Yeah. When did I attack cross dissolves?
On the Hero episode, you said there's no example of a good cross dissolve.
Did I say that?
You
definitively?
said yes. You said there is zero. You said a cross dissolve doesn't do anything more than if you just hard cut to a thing. I would have loved to see a hard cut to that Paramount logo to the mountain. That would have been jarring.
Oh god.
Just saying.
You
make very definitive statements on this, and I realize you forget them as well. But I also want to bring it up.
I want a specific time code and clip for when I said those words.
Hang on. Okay. You keep going, and I'll find it.
Well, I was waiting for you to go on to the next thing.
What do you mean going to the next thing?
I'll tell you what I'll do whilst you find that.
I was going to say, why? Okay, what were you going to say? Because obviously, I want you to go through like more shit that you like.
I'm going to try and find. I'm going to find the track I was talking about, and we can play that over you trying to find this clip of me.
Hang on. But will that do us dirty? Oh, we don't get monetized. It's fine. Fuck it.
We don't get monetized. If we do, we can just fucking cut this bit out. If we get copyright strikes.
Oh, but that's more work for me, Robbie. You need to realise that.
Just fucking marking in and out and press fucking backspace.
Hang on.
Is this the track I'm thinking of? Oh, possibly. Oh, yeah, it is. Fuck yeah. I'm just going to play this whilst we wait for Oscar. Everyone enjoy one of the best romantic tracks in cinema. Thank you very much. Hell yeah. It's so good. You don't seem to be looking for this.
I'm scrubbing through the timeline on the thing. I can't remember whereabouts.
It just looked like you were just staring at me whilst I was playing this song.
No, because what I'm looking at right now is the Hero episode.
Okay. God, what a good track.
Right, I'll find it later. It doesn't matter. I can't remember whenabouts it was. It felt like we just
It doesn't exist.
It does exist. It does exist. You outright attacked the fucking the use of a cross dissolve because you end your little rant go like, editors of the world, come at me. And that's exactly what you did. All I'm saying is there's a good few crossfades in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and they're all effective, and they all have their place.
Proof for it didn't happen.
All right. If you want to keep being like that, I'll go back and find it.
No, don't keep scrubbing through. You're just going to waste more podcast time, you know? I'm going to find another romantic track to play. And that's not going to be good. Are you doing this now? You're giving me the silent treatment whilst you find it? Yeah? You give me the cold shoulder, bitch? You son of a bitch. Oh, no. Huh?
Found it.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
So, for anyone who's curious, if you go to the... I'm saying this out loud because I might just insert it now into the edit.
I'm curious.
If you go to the Hero episode of Intermission Podcast and go to 55 minutes and 59 seconds, that is when you'll find Robbie slagging off a cross dissolve. I'm not saying you should watch it right now, Robbie.
I am finding it right now. I don't believe it still.
This fight, which is
Yeah.
There's a lot of fades within that. There's a lot of it's a lot of cross dissolving in that fight and all that. But
hate a cross dissolve. God, I hate cross dissolve so much.
But you like Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars isn't cross dissolves.
That's a wipe, isn't it?
It's a wipe. A wipe's fine. There was oh my god. You can cut this out.
So why don't you like a cross dissolve?
I don't like cross dissolves because they look shit.
Nah, you can do
There's never been one that looks nice.
It's that definitive. There's never been a good example. So there you go.
Thing is, the first half of the point I was making, I was like, oh no, I'm on my own side here. Yeah, I can agree that I don't like cross dissolves for the most part. And then it was like, then I go, this is what I do, man. I do a thing where I'm like, oh yeah, I get that. Yeah. If I ever listen back to these, I'll listen to myself and I'm like, yeah, I get that. And then I make some big fucking definitive statement that I can never prove.
And I want you to go back to I want you to go back to you talking about Harakiri, because all I'm saying is,
What did I say about Harakiri?
Big love for that one is all I'm saying.
Oh god.
To be fair, that's
yeah. I probably liked it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But it's not as good as Raiders of the Lost Ark, though, is it?
And we all have opinions.
It's not the best movie ever made, is it? Fucking hell.
No, there's only one of those. It's 12 Angry Men.
No. Okay, continue. Carry on.
Well, I want to know more of your what is there any more specific things you want to talk about in terms of your love for the film? Because I'll admit a lot of my notes are just gonna be more again, not negatives, but there's reasons why the rest of my notes are okay, this is what doesn't this is why this film doesn't click with me.
I think so
on a level like it does with you.
One thing that I do love about this is the vibe that it makes of. So when George Lucas and Steven Spielberg came up with the idea for this, mostly George Lucas, who was kind of his idea.
Apparently, George Lucas and Philip Kaufman were story credits.
Yeah,
so I don't. Yeah,
the guy's named after his goddamn dog. For goodness sake, you know. George Lucas's dog was called Indiana. That's why it's called Indiana Jones.
We named the dog Indiana.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll get there. So what his idea was, he wanted to make something that reminded him of old TV serials, like Flash Gordon or stuff like that. And for me specifically, hey, there's a lot of stuff in here that reminds me of old school Doctor Who. Just saying, not in terms of any story content.
But I thought you didn't like the time travel aspect in Dial of Destiny.
I don't like the time travel aspects in Dial of Destiny. I think it's stupid.
But Doctor Who.
No, this is no. This is not. This isn't.
I'm bullshit. I'm not causing an argument. I'm bullshit. Let's move on.
What I'm saying is, why would he want to be in the past? Anyway, what I'm saying is, the way fights happen sometimes with just swinging a big punch, and you can clearly tell that the punch doesn't connect, but you don't care because it's created this big fucking vibe, and it's filled with little moments of a camera turning around and incidental music of or whatever, things like that, and that's that is the classic fucking TV serial vibe, and I love it, and it's such a specific vibe, that I think. The two latest Indiana Jones films don't feel like that.
Yeah, no.
They feel like they're trying to be Indiana Jones movies, whatever that is. They're trying to be blockbuster movies, but the style of the Indiana Jones films wasn't to be blockbuster movies. It was to be a throwback to TV serials, and it kind of loses that in Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny.
I can agree.
I feel.
I agree with that.
I don't remember any moments of incidental music in Dial of Destiny.
I can't remember a lot from that film, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
Yeah. I remember how it made me sad for a week. I remember how it caused me a sleepless night, right, to ring you.
No, I know. Go back to our
sleep.
What episode did we just? It might be the Hero episode, actually.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was. The hero episode is also the episode where Robbie's ranting about Dial of Destiny. So, who would have thought we're referencing that fucking film so much?
Wow. Who knows? It's a recurring fucking nightmare for me. I keep waking up. Destiny? Yeah, because there's sometimes where I fall asleep and I go, oh, I'm excited for the new Indiana Jones film. And then I wake up in a cold sweat because I remember it's come out and it's terrible. Fuck. Jesus.
But yeah. Again, I think I could. Right. Okay. We'll break down shit.
Okay.
Again, this is.
Do you mean I'm gonna break down and start swearing and shouting at you?
I mean, again, as I said, nothing that I say is in a way of like where I'm like, there's nothing in this film where I'm like, fuck that. Yeah. There's nothing about that. But there's also a reason why I'm not one of them. Why I'm in the minority of the world of not being in love with this film. You know what I mean?
I'll say before you start as well that just as a thing, because I think I've got a feeling of one of the things you're gonna say because of one of your comments earlier. Yeah, I picked up on it, bitch.
I can't remember.
I'm gonna say, hey, I love every single character in this film.
Okay.
They're all incredible.
Okay.
Every single character is amazing in here with a great performance.
Okay.
Yes, even the Nazis.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Continue.
One thing I've realised again, film started well into the opening scene. Hey, maybe I'm gonna love this film because I haven't seen this film in a while, and like 10 years later, I might, now I might be, I might now have an appreciation for a bit more stuff because that's happened before with certain things.
Yeah.
There's been films I've watched in the past. Whether if it was like An Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind when I watched it when I was 17, and then I watched it like fucking like when I'm like 26, 25. I think I watched it like again when I was like 25 for the first time since then. I'm like, holy shit, I went through life a lot more. I get this a lot more. Oh, there's certain films as well where I watched it when I was younger, then I watched it now and go like, I didn't appreciate how fucking cool that film is. So I thought that this was going to be another example of like, holy shit, I might just be really into Raiders of the Lost Ark because how fucking cool it is, because this opening's so cool. And then the action stops, and then we get into the thing of it. And the one thing I've realized for me personally is everything that's not an action scene kind of drags. I don't care about these people talking about the Ark of the Covenant. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about people being like, man, we want this thing. I don't give a shit. It's just all very like, all right, then let me see Indy punch people. And then we're seeing Indy punch people. We see the bar fight where the bar goes in flames. That's a really cool action set piece as well. That's class. Mint. I'm caring about everything that's happening right now. And then we go, and then we're going to come down for an action scene. And I'm like, I just want to see more. Come on, just give me a cool set piece. Give me those really cool, inventive set pieces. I don't give a fuck about anyone. I don't give a fuck about anything else in this film where they're all just talking. There's nothing about what they're saying interests me whatsoever. What
are you talking about?
I just said it. Nothing else interests me other than the action. Everything else kind of drags, if I'm being honest.
But
I'm looking
charming.
It's good that there's a good chunk of this film where it is big set piece. There's a lot of this film that is that, but also,
I don't. This could be the one that I leave halfway through. What are we doing here? What the fuck are you talking about?
I can tell you right now, I rewound them talking about the Ark of the Covenant twice because I'm like, I lost attention. I was like, no, I should probably remember that bit. Wait, what the fuck was said again? That was everything that I had to do. And I'm like, okay, now I'm in. Okay, now I'm on board of it. And they all talk in such the same tone. And I feel like I'm in a fucking boring ass history lecture. It feels like I'm like in like when I was originally in uni. Probably at the time of this, probably in 1936 when I first started uni.
Yeah.
And when I first did contextual studies, and all contextual studies was we were all in a big hall and they went through just art history. They didn't cater it to our specific thing. They just went through art history. I'm like, I want to fucking leave because nothing's interesting me right now. Because it's just also factual and just like, and now this is this. And now this is this. And now this. You know, it felt so slideshow presentation-wise. There was nothing intriguing about. Again, the way it was the way everything was shot was really interesting, and that's why I pay attention a lot to the cinematography. Nothing they were saying glued me, if I'm being perfectly honest.
But I oh god, right. You talk about one scene where you've got to set up the fucking story.
Right. Okay.
How do you think
Anything
I feel
else?
for most of the movies when we do this podcast?
Hey, there's a reason why I said I'm being fair with you right now. I'm saying my opinion on a thing. I'm not saying that.
Oh
like,
my
yeah,
god!
so, I'm just saying that's what that is to me. Not well, example what you said there. It's like some things interest you, some things interest me. Evidently, a lot of them don't link. Or like, it's a thing where it's like I like indie.
Yeah. So then when he's like correcting them, like they start off telling him the thing, and he's like, no. So the Ark of the Covenant was actually blah 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 blah. And he knows shit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like that's. No, I agree. I'm fine with watching him, but I'm also saying he's not the one. He's not the only character in that scene. There's 3 other dull ass people that's also got a lot of stuff to say.
They're not dull. The other guy that's like his mate from the school. There's a cool like little kind of like a weird sort of father-son dynamic going on with those guys. He's like looking at him fucking proud when he's talking about it. Like there's a nice dynamic going on with those guys. The other 2 guys are just guys that are coming in from the fucking government or whatever, being like, "Hey man, we need you to do this thing." It's like saying, the bit in the Mission Impossible film where the guy goes, "Your mission if you choose to accept it," and explains what the plot of the movie is going to be. Oh, that was fucking boring. It's like, well, they've got to fucking do it to do the movie. All right, so just
it's not the fact of what it is or what the scene is. It's again, I don't necessarily know how I can explain it other than the way it just feels and the way it's delivered isn't at all interesting. And that's not and counter to the point of the Mission Impossible bit. The Mission Impossible, everything within that moment. Again, we look at like there's always like a thing where he has to go to like I don't know, like a phone box or like he gets like a record and he has to go to a thing and then it's like that's a fun little way. Like okay, so what's going to be the plot of this? Okay, cool, that's neat. Now I'm in. Now there's massive self-destruct in 5 seconds, and we get like a. Or like if you did the second one, you explodes the sunglasses. Bullshit.
Yeah.
But to me, it's also not the fact it's an exposition scene. I can get by an exposition scene. I can get behind that. I can get by that. It's not. I'm using that moment as just like an example. There's other moments where, again, we get to the bar before the fight. I'm not really. Again, another good character introduction for us to understand Marion. Great character introduction. I don't give a shit. I mean, there's something about it. I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm being sedated every time that there's not an action bit.
But it's so much. That scene's so much fun. It's so fucking charming. Where she's doing the shot game with that guy.
Yeah, good.
And he like passes out and stuff, and then Indy comes in. And they talk about like their past, and they've got a really interesting relationship because he clearly.
I want to mention that.
That he's a pedophile. Sure.
Yes.
Move on. Get over it, mate.
No, and I did. I had fun with it all. But all I'm saying is a 27-year-old grew to fucking 15-year-old. That's in the fucking film. That's commented. That I'm not going to mention again. That's not a point where I'm like, fuck that film. Not saying it, but I'm also saying that's in there.
Okay, well,
it's noticeable to me.
I'm not going to sit here and defend pedophilia for the sake of
I know you're
not.
And I know you're not. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying that you should say now the film's bad. I'm just saying that's a point that came up to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not the exact same, but it's the same type of niggling. It's the same niggling bit in the back of my head of when I'm watching Godfather 3 and I'm like, they shouldn't be fucking.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a thing. It's not the exact same scenario, but it's a scenario where I'm like, where again, I would not have thought anything from it until I think she went, I was a child. And I went, hang on. So then I had to Google, how old's Marion in Raiders? Because they say that was 10 years ago. I went,
yeah.
How old was she? She's 25 in Raiders. Oh dear. So,
yeah. Okay.
So, just saying.
Not
saying that's a point of like. Not saying that's a point to snipe down the film.
Yeah.
But it's also a thing that popped up.
What I think has happened there is right. There is no reference to how old Marion is in the movie. Actually, in the film.
Not in the film. It's in the script.
It's just,
It is in the script.
Yeah. right? It's just a thing that they've been fucking caught out with. Clearly, they've just picked a fucking number and gone, yeah, that. It's not like integral to the fucking character that she was groomed by Indiana Jones. That's not. It's not integral to the relationship. The relationship itself is very interesting.
It kind of slightly affects it in the way, I'm not saying, again, I say slightly affects it in a way of like, the whole relationship has already been established before this film.
Yeah.
So now we have to so in a moment like that, all we have is like, okay, we need to like we need to go off what we know to give a fuck about this relationship.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that we could, but then there's also a thing where it's like, she was... She was a child and he wasn't. That's how they met, and that is a thing. That is their backstory. That is their history. It's again, nothing ruins the film, but a thing that did spring up.
Okay.
All I'm saying
is they clearly just picked two numbers to be in a script that would never make its way to the screen because it has absolutely no relevance to the film at all. And she said
cut the line.
And she said the line, I was a child, as in
the line.
Mentally I was a child.
She didn't say it mentally.
But she's not saying physically I was a child.
But she never did. But I'm not saying that. But the fact is, I was a child. How else are you defining that?
Like, is it...
You could say I was immature.
Yeah. That's what she means.
Then why didn't she say that?
I don't fucking know. I didn't write it.
Wait, Lawrence Kasdan did.
What I'm saying is, it doesn't. It changes nothing to me. It's a line that has gone over my head, probably until I had fucking Twitter when I was like 18, and some cunt pointed out one time about 5 years ago. Now it's all anyone fucking talks about with this movie. For some reason.
A thing that I never heard of, I never knew about until today when I watched the film for the second time. Is all I'm saying. I never knew about that fact. Pointed out. That's the thing that sprung up. Doesn't count the film. Not saying the film's shit because of it, but it's the thing that did. But it's the thing that I did notice.
Sure. What I'm saying is, you finding that scene boring is insane.
What it is
what
it is, McGonagall. I don't necessarily find anyone other than Indy at all interesting to watch, character-wise.
Marion's so good.
Oh, I would have a cut. I did not like... One thing I realised from this film, didn't like her. I didn't like Marion. That's another... Yeah, no. Where's... where is it? There's a lot of things about Marion where I'm like... Pfft. Like, there's a lot of things where I'm like, oh, a lot of things in this film I'm not clicking with is quite integral to her existence in the film. It's which I didn't expect. I didn't expect to come away with that. I was expecting to watch Temple of Doom next week and say something about Willie and be like, yo, that fuck. I might say the exact same thing.
I will say things about Willie next week.
We'll get to that. But also, but one note I've got about it is I got how Marion feels about Indy seems to flip-flop. She doesn't want anything fucking to do with him when they first meet. Fine, that's it, established. Cool. She's still a bit like that when she gets kidnapped first time. Next time they see each other, she's fucking head over heels for him. Where'd that come from? I know you have loved him, but where'd that come from? Next time we see her, she fucking despises him. Make up your fucking mind, woman.
Because she clearly loves him the whole time.
Oh, I accidentally muted you. Sorry, there. That wasn't intentional.
That's fine. I mean, sure. I'll just go then.
That'd be so fucking. Imagine if you just. It's like actually, and I just.
It's so childish. Just no, thank you. I'm good.
I want to preface. I want to pick up something, and my thumb knocked the mute button. I was like, oh shit, hang on.
Jesus Christ.
That would be the equivalent of like if you just like okay, so I say my bit, then you just start talking.
Yeah. So I mean. what I disagree with is it. You fuck. Ah, you son of a bitch.
Yes.
So, she clearly loves him the whole time. Obviously. Because otherwise, why does she go? I know she says, oh, because you owe me however much money for the fucking bar. He can give you that when he gets back. She's clearly going because they had this thing. He had to leave. Because he was her father was his mentor and taught him everything that he knows about archaeology and all that kind of stuff. He thought of him like a son. They had this great bond. It was great. It was all going great. And then, through no one's fault, they fucking fell in love. And her dad didn't approve of it. They had to go their separate ways. They had this fucking exciting whirlwind romance. And he had to fuck off and not explain anything. And then he hasn't seen her since. And then he comes back into her life, and obviously she still loves him. Clearly. There's a bit of resentment there, because she's like, you fucked off and didn't say anything. But she can't help but get, wrapped up in the excitement and the fucking charm of Indiana Jones, just like me. What a sexy man. Oh my god. Are you kidding me right now? I mean, wait till we get to next week and his shirt rips. Holy shit.
I mean, he is a charming man. I will say
oh
that.
My goodness.
Harrison Ford isn't my type as a movie star, but I can also get that.
My god. Also, something I remembered watching it this evening for some reason. I think Marion was probably one of my first movie crushes. I think.
Fair.
I recall that.
There we go. We can finally tick off Robbie now, as Robbie's now kind of technically simped over someone in one of these episodes.
Harrison Ford. But so their relationship, I find that dynamic really interesting and romantic in that she comes along on this adventure and she gets fucking wrapped up in the romance, and they clearly still love each other, but they're like, we shouldn't do that in memory of your father, and it's a good fucking fair. Interesting relationship, man. It's good.
No, that's fair. I can understand that now.
Yeah, and they're having a good time before she finds him and stuff. Like, they're having a good time with the monkey and having some flirty banter and whatever. And he's given her dates and such not.
Bad dates.
Bad dates. Am I right?
It's it's good. No, that's understandable. I can get that. Yeah. You've opened my eyes in that regard.
Oh my god, I've made a good point. Yes.
Where was it?
Timestamp it, bitch. Robbie makes a good point.
Oh no, here's where my note is. I'll read the bit out because I can't. Obviously, I didn't timestamp them when I started writing these notes down. But I put not sure if I care for Marion, and then my next point is she's a bit of a damsel in distress, but just really loud.
Yeah, but she's fucking funny though.
I didn't laugh. I didn't find it funny.
Oh man, she's great.
She never got I will say she never got on the point of annoying for me. She was never she was never like a point where I'm like, shut the fuck up, never that point. But it got to a certain amount of points where I'm like, what is she doing other than being kidnapped?
Yeah.
What is she? What is she? And I'm not saying like that is a bad thing within a tropey film.
Yeah.
Watch that get clipped down and say Oscar thinks that all women should be damsel in distress. I think it's a storyline trope that.
Well, it's a trope of those TV serials and stuff that there's
It's that, but it's also just storyline trope from the beginning of fiction.
Well, yeah,
you know what I mean. It just is, and I don't necessarily agree with all damsel in distress are bad. I do think if you can do it right, then do it. I think it can have a place in almost like a romantic whimsy type of like The Princess Bride's a very good example. I think that's actually a good example of a really good damsel in distress.
Yeah.
In the sense yes, she is a damsel in distress, but that doesn't necessarily make her weak. It just means she got fucking kidnapped, and now the power of love's bringing is help is saving. I think you could do it right. So I'm not saying the fact that Marion is a damsel in distress in the film equals bad. It just got to a certain point where I'm like, I feel like you should be doing more. The fact that you get kidnapped get rescued, get kidnapped again, then get rescued. It's like, should you at least like do more than just that? Like, it's like, again, there's the bit where, I guess in the airplane, of where she technically helps Indy with killing the bad guy, which also I want to say is I am a fan of the blood in this film. I am a big, I'm a big fan of technically a family film, not being afraid to show a bit of gore. I mean, my God, we saw Alfred Molina with spikes through his fucking head.
Hell yeah.
Good shit. That's really good.
Doc Ock getting covered in spiders and stuff. Good stuff. The blood, again, the blood splat with the propeller.
Yeah. Oh, what a chef's kiss of a gore effect.
Yeah.
That is just cool. But again, I get to that point where, like, to me, I'm like, I don't even necessarily need Marion fully saving Indy, but even if she, like, helps him solve a tomb puzzle.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, something like that might have helped me a bit more. It's like, okay, it would be cool. Like, yes, you get kidnapped, Indy saves you, but then maybe he's like, how do we get out of this scenario? And then she is like, well, this. You know what I mean? Like, I would have liked a bit more of, like, a bit of, like, it feels a bit more a thick as thieves type of thing. You know what's a good example? Actually, kind of like the, I mean, maybe this isn't the greatest example. I would have liked Marion a lot more if she was kind of similar to the Gaiman from Modern Times. Paulette Goddard's character, if she was a bit of that, like, because she's a bit the love interest in.
You might as well be speaking a different language. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Again, all I'm saying
that's fine.
is again, go back to the episode. Robbie really praised that.
No, I did like it. I remember nothing about it.
Yeah. But like in terms of my, like, what I liked about her character in that was, like, she was kind of like, again, she had a bit of feistiness to her, and she was also, you know, when she got knocked down, Chaplin picked her up. When Chaplin got knocked down, you know, it was, you know, that kind of, like, that dynamic. It just felt a bit more like, because I liked Marion being a bit feisty.
Yeah.
But I also feel like her feistiness didn't equate to actually doing anything.
Yeah, I can get that. I mean,
I think other than just being a characteristic.
I think I think she never. In the rest of the film, and I love that character throughout, but I think I do agree that in terms of her usefulness, she doesn't really ever live up to how she is in that bar scene at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, like, in that fight, she's helping out and she's throwing in bottles and she's hitting people with fucking planks of wood and whatever, and she's speaking back to them and she's telling them to fuck off out of her bar and all that kind of stuff. And, like, there's a good, like, she's feisty and she shouts at people and she'll give people what for, and she helps out in the action scene. She never quite lives up to that again in the rest of the film, so I can understand that.
Again, that's more of, like, a little bit of a personal preference to me in that regard, where she is a very prominent part in the film.
Yeah.
You know, she's practically, she's the support in character, close to a co-lead.
Crazy that she's not in any of the other ones.
Yeah. No, not a single one after.
No, it's crazy. Actually, no, it's crazy. It's crazy they won't bring back a good character like that. Madness.
But yeah, a point that not necessarily not really negative. I just thought it was a bit of, like, I just thought it was a bit of a funny thing to mention. I've got in quotes after Marion blew the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, just like Indy going, Marion's dead, and then I'm bad with characters in this film. Who's is it? Jonathan Rhys-Davies?
Salah.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
To which he responds, "Yeah, I know. Well, life moves on." I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna have anything. You're not gonna have anything. Not even let your mate just mourn a little bit. Be like, whatever, Indy. Fucking let's get going though.
I love Salah so much. Does he in this movie? Have I got the right one here? Did he punch someone through a newspaper in this?
No.
Okay, well, that's Last Crusade then. We'll wait a couple of weeks. But it's but it's great. Fun fact that I didn't realise until way too late into my life. That's Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I don't know. Being a huge fan of both of these franchises, I have no idea how I didn't realise that sooner. So that's embarrassing, isn't it? For me.
Well, we all have moments like that.
Yeah, but he doesn't look like a dwarf in this.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying we all have moments like
Yeah,
that.
you know.
I'm
just saying. No, I'm just saying. I've had shit for it before. I'm just saying. I'm sorry that I let it bubble to the surface.
That's an odd one. That's an odd one to get shit for. It's not like John. It's not like John the Rhys-Davies. You know what I mean? It's not like.
Well, I think it was that my sister pointed it out and was like, "Yeah, obviously you fucking idiot. You call yourself a fucking film fan or whatever." You know, it hurt me.
That'd be fair.
Because I'm the film fan of the family. You know. It's just shit hurts, man. It's fine. It's whatever.
I only learned.
Yeah.
About 2 months ago that Alfred Molina was in this film.
You fucking idiot. How would you not know that? You fucking stupid bitch. Sorry. It was too good of a bit to pass up, Oscar. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that's the case as well. I didn't know he was in this.
No. He gets.
He's not exactly
no
prominent or crucial in this.
Throw me the whip.
Yeah.
Prick, absolute arsehole. Deserved everything that was coming to him.
Adios, amigo.
Yeah, knobhead. It's got fucking skewered. Hell yeah.
He did get skewered.
In that opening scene, did you see the writing on the side of the plane? On the side of Mac's plane?
The writing on the wall?
No, the writing on the plane. I don't know how much more plain I can be about this. It's on the side of the plane, Oscar.
I saw the writing. I didn't read what it said though.
It says OBI-3PO.
Like Star Wars.
Like Star Wars.
Because George Lucas.
Yeah, the Harrison Ford was in Star Wars.
He was. That's another connection.
Yeah. Also, he was. That's stemmed a fan theory that that Indiana Jones is actually like Han Solo having a dream or whatever, and people are like, and like the writing on the side of the plane is like his actual memory seeping through into the dream or whatever. Fuck off.
I'm glad people have time to think of that shit.
I'm not. I wish people would just shut up.
You know what? I'm happy that people have worries, don't have as much worries in their life to where that's a thing that they have in their thoughts, and then they are like, now let me write a big thesis piece about it online. Like that's what they have so little stress or responsibility in their life that they can do that.
Yeah, that's insane, isn't it?
You know, I envy that.
Yeah, Jesus.
I mean, partially I don't because I wouldn't want to just do that, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel sad.
On that kind of note as well, I realised it's like I'm glad that like I don't get. I mean, I think you need to like overcome this hurdle. You're almost there, but you need to actually fully overcome it.
Yeah.
I don't get too angry about a film anymore. I
do a lot.
I just don't anymore. I went back and rewatched when me and Gary watched all the Bond films. I went back and so this would have been lead up to Spectre, so I was 20 years old. And I went and I watched my review for Die Another Day, which is a funny review, but my God, I took that shit too seriously. I got so fucking mad at that, and I go like, why would I? Why at this point in my life? It's a shit film. It's got awful, but why?
When I watch movies like this, I won't ever get over it, because you've seen to me, I get angry if a film's just all right. A lot of the time.
You kind
of do. That I think films like when films like this exist, and they make me feel the way that they do, and then I go and see something and it makes me feel nothing.
No, yeah.
Then. And that can happen. And that can happen if a film's just fine. It makes me feel absolutely nothing, and I'm like, well, why should I settle for that?
Well, if it's so nothing, it just leaves my brain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not shouting about Quantumania because it's so like it's the worst film I've seen this year. It's a dog shit, awful film but also it's so little of nothing to me. It just leaves my brain. I'm like, well, I'll leave it to leave my brain. Again, there's films that I get really angry at, but I also can't, whatever. Like Halloween Resurrection blows.
Yeah,
that film sucks. The 2019 Lion King, dog shit, awful. Everything bad about a film. No, I can understand, and one thing I want about that thing about like when films like this exist, what's the excuse basically?
Yeah.
And what I will say is, yeah, we don't have. And what as much as like, and again, the last point that I can say about the film is it feels, and again, not necessarily a bad point, but it's like it feels a bit odd that the film ends with Indy just being a bit miserable. You know, it's not like off to the sunsets. Like he sees Mario and he goes, I don't know what. Fucking idiots. They don't know what to do with the ark. They don't know what they fucking got. And then Marion's like, well, you've got me. And then they walk off down the stairs and he's still a bit,
Yeah.
And then it just ends.
Mate.
It's so funny. To me, it's
great.
just, that's a bit of an odd way to end like a big old, swashbuckling adventure. It's not like, we'll get to it. But like how, like Last Crusade, it's like, let's go off, but it's just like
where it should have ended.
But like the first ever Indiana Jones film, like arguably maybe maybe the most iconic Indiana Jones film. That doesn't mean the best one. That just
I would say it's the most iconic one.
Yeah, but like that film ends with like Indy just being like, and just
yeah. We haven't spoken about the Ark bit yet.
What about the Ark bit?
When they open the Ark and all the fucking ghouls come out.
I mean, it's cool. I like it. It's
great. It's so good.
That's just you know what I'm like. I love a spooky thing. I'm a big fan of spooky shit.
Yeah,
and that's just so cool. Spooky shit. It's really good. The effects on all cylinder, whether it be the ghosts, and shit, and then the face melt. Yeah. It's just like
even that one guy's head that explodes.
Yeah, it does. It goes full scanners.
Yeah, great. Love it.
Just
and Indy's like, close your eyes or whatever.
Yeah. Well, he does. That's exactly what he says.
Yeah. It's good shit.
Including the or whatever.
Yeah.
Harry, close your eyes or whatever.
Close your eyes or whatever. I'm not really too bothered.
I don't give a shit.
It's fine. Do what you want.
Yeah. No, but I do agree in the sense of like, we haven't. I was about to say we don't have films like this anymore.
Yeah.
And we don't. But I also don't think. But I also think we do. We don't and we do. We don't in the sense of like we don't have adventure films like this anymore with these types of things.
Yeah.
But I also don't think if another film was made like this today, we would just go like, well, you're just doing fucking Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But I do think there are films out there now that have the same kind of mentality where it's like, let's just make a fucking film for people to go to the cinema and have a fucking just movie time.
Yeah.
I think the Mission Impossible films are good examples of modern films that kind of have they're not the same, but it's
they're kind of that for now, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Because obviously I wouldn't want to see acting like in Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark now because it would look naff.
Yeah.
In all honesty, there's performances in this where it's like it's charming and fun there, but I feel like if it was done now, I don't know how I feel about it. But there's still, but again, I'll use Mission Impossible as an example because I think that is just the best example of like an action franchise, a modern action franchise that is a bit tongue in cheek, but also just kind of as like the fuck yeah, let's go to see a movie and let's go and see like big action shit. Well, you have Simon Pegg being a bit silly. You have like Tom Cruise like saying like being a bit getting knocked down on his ass or stuff. Well again, Ghost Protocol. There's that moment where he's like scaling down the fucking Burj Khalifa. Wire's too short. Benji Simon Pegg goes, your wire's not long enough, and then just Tom Cruise goes, no shit. So, you got like funny, and there's lots of moments like that in the Indiana Jones films. Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's plenty of moments like that. It's like I like the fun little moment where he's going to lob the date and then fucking
that's how I
the
got
date.
Yeah.
There's like, but then we see just a monkey corpse on the ground, like
dead monkey. Bad dates, man.
Best
version of it in this movie. Obviously, there's the sword and the gun bit. It's great.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Exactly.
It's so good.
Yeah. So do you know what? It is a thing. Obviously, yes, they don't make movies like this anymore. But also, I don't think we should make movies like this anymore. We should just keep the mentality going. Because again, I think every decade of film has a film where it's like, fuck yeah, you know what? That might not have like hit me on a personal level, but my God, I just like watching a movie.
Yeah.
I just like going to see a movie and seeing characters have fun little quips and get me on the edge of my seat every now and then and be like, oh, what's going to happen here? You know, or like some version of that. And this is what it is in the decade. This is very much so that type of film for the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I also do have a slight belief that I'm not big. Well, I'm a bit wishy-washy on the 80s as a decade overall, but that's
okay. Bizarre, by the way. It's only the best decade for movies, but that's fine.
Oh no, it isn't. That is so incorrect. There's a lot of dog shit in the 80s. Is all I'm saying. And I mean, my favorite. I'm not saying there's all bad. There are really good. There are great films in the 80s. There are amazing films in the 80s. All the films that I really like from the 80s aren't necessarily quote 80s films. I will say that.
Well, did they come out in the 80s?
No, but like example being like The Shining isn't a film that you think of being as an 80s film.
Yeah,
or
but
like
it is.
It's a film. No, it is, but it doesn't have the same vibe as like a Back to the Future. Which
yeah,
is
but
also
that doesn't. If it came out in the 80s, it's an 80s film.
No, but no. What I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. There's films from the 80s I like, but when I use the quote 80s film, it's shit like a Stranger Things. You know what I mean? Like that's an 80s thing, which can't be fucked with a lot of times because it's just like, all right, sure, whatever. Breakfast Club, I would use an example as an 80s film.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So, and I love that film. That's a fucking film that I absolutely.
But he's like, but I don't know. Club. The 80s for me is like, it's where all my favorite movies are from.
I mean, fair.
Indiana Jones. You got your Evil Deads. You know.
Yeah, the Evil Dead's are really good.
You know, you've got your Breakfast Club. You've got your Ferris Bueller. You've got your Back to the Futures. This is great. It's good shit. It's what movies are made of, mate.
I haven't seen 2 or 3 Back to the Future.
What? Are you kidding? No, are you joking?
No, I'm not genuine. I've seen the first one once.
What?
Around the same time that I watched Raiders for the first time, actually. I just haven't never got. I've just never got round to 2 or 3 yet.
Are you fucking kidding me? Is that real?
No. That is a genuine thing. Yeah, no, I've not watched the Back to the Future 2 or 3.
That is more baffling than you not seeing Gremlins, which again, by the way, 80s film. What have you been doing?
Well, a lot of these films I've discovered. Because believe it or not, Robbie, I wasn't born in the 80s, so I didn't have a chance to see any of these fucking films.
Neither was I.
But 2, I never was raised with them. I was never shown them. So once I was getting older, I wasn't like, they weren't already in my like life. Do you know what I mean? Like, like my mum never sat me down and watched Back to the Future, or she never sat me down and watched Gremlins, or fucking The Goonies. Still, I've never seen The Goonies.
Oh, it's another one. Yeah, put that on the list.
But I've never seen those.
Wait, sorry. Wait. I glossed over that because I was concentrating on saying that was another one of my favorite movies in the 80s that came out in the 80s. You've never seen The Goonies?
You know that. I've told you this several times. I've never seen The Goonies. No, I've never seen The Goonies. And it's and also because it's things where it's like, but then again, I didn't see Raiders of the Lost Ark until when I was 17. You know, I didn't grow up on it.
That was only 3 weeks after release. Got him. Got him.
But I didn't I didn't grow up on any shit. Like again, when I was growing up, again, if you were to tell me like I watched Toy Story, I was shown that.
Yeah.
I watched that. I watched Disney films growing up. I watched Jumanji, weirdly. Like a lot. Okay. A lot of my. I watched a lot of 90s. I watched a lot of shit that was like, Hook. I watched Hook loads actually. Hook was like a film that I watched so much. That was my Spielberg film when growing up was Hook. But that was because of Peter Pan and shit as well, really.
Yeah.
I was also a big pirate kid. I like pirates.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, big fan of. That's a really good swashbuckling adventure film. That's a good example of like, wow, what a fucking movie. Curse of the Black Pearl, what a movie that is.
Yeah.
But also I was like, I don't know. I also just liked going to see the newer films as well. Like, you know, I liked seeing Harry Potter's when they were coming out when I was younger or whatever. Or like I liked seeing the animated Disney films when they were coming out. Pixar, I grew up a lot on Pixar. Pixar is kind of more my nostalgia point of it. So I guess, and again, I grew up on Star Wars. Star Wars and Batman. I grew up a lot on that as well.
You've seen Ferris Bueller though, haven't you?
I have seen that.
Okay, good.
One time. Again, around the same time that I watched Raiders and Back to the Future for the first time. Around that time period.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed that. That's a film I've wanted to go back. I just haven't yet. But I do really like that one. There's also a few John Hughes films that are sticking out where I haven't seen 16 Candles or Pretty in Pink. I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen that one. I watched Home Alone for the first time. When was it? Oh, was it Christmas 2018? It might have been Christmas 2018.
That's too late. What are you talking about?
No, I really enjoyed it still then.
Good.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah, no,
that's
really good.
Insane.
And that's because my girlfriend at the time were like, fucking, we're watching Home Alone. I went, yeah, cool. I want to watch it.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah.
I can't believe that.
I know. Yeah, no, things like that, man. I guess, so, like, the 80s was my decade in terms of growing up on it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. There's certain things from the 80s I do, like, aesthetically as well. Like, I got sick of it a lot. It wasn't because of Stranger Things, but it was around that time period where, like, everyone was like, yeah, I fucking would wear that. I'm like, the 80s was the best decade. And it's people talking about that who weren't in the decade. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, no, the sensationalistic, like, the stylistic aspect of the 80s is what you like. You can't say the 80s was the best decade because you didn't fucking live it, okay?
Yeah.
But I mean, I like the synth wavy shit. I like the retro wave aesthetic of it all. I like playing Hotline Miami. Again, the shit, but I'm also more of a 90s kid in general. Like, that's like, you know, if I were to pick 80s or 90s, it's more 90s for me. Just in general, to be fair as well. But what I'm saying is, the point being as well, I can understand, there's a lot of films like Raiders of the Lost Ark that I can understand that are big classics. And they mean a lot to people. And I also am very curious about, like, I would be interested in what you would think of this film without the nostalgia. And obviously we could never answer that because it just is.
But it's not, this isn't nostalgia to me, though.
But what I mean in the sense of, like, I'm not saying that you like it because, like, I grew up with it.
Yeah.
It's clearly, but it made such an impact on you at a young age that you just grew up loving that. Yeah. And that aspect of shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, like obviously, like, it would be curious, like, if that wasn't even obviously you would like different types of shit probably as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because it's like, to me, it's like, I haven't delved, as an example probably being, I haven't properly delved into the film noir genre, like all the old school film noirs. Yeah. But I know I really like that aesthetic and I fucking love that shit because I grew up loving Batman. And Batman, especially the animated series, took a lot from film noir. So I guess in a similar way how Indiana Jones took a lot of a lot of like old swashbuckling adventure serials. I would assume, have you seen loads of those?
Nah.
Of the old, but obviously you like the style of it. But you know what I mean? It's that, it's like in a similar way of like in a lot of ways. Again, this is probably the best way I could assign with it. It doesn't click with me because a lot of the stuff that I got really into as a kid, or like, I'm not saying that you have to watch it. What I'm trying to say is, I think that my main reason of why I don't click with Raiders as much is because this isn't a part of my fabric as a human. Yeah. I'm not saying that anyone who who watches it later in life might not have that. You know what I mean? Like, someone might watch it in their 30s for the first time and they might fucking love it. Yeah. But the one thing that I've gained, because the one thing that I've noticed from a lot of people is a lot of people appreciate this film because it was just ingrained from them since they were a fucking child. Yeah. Which is fair. And it is a really great, again, can't disparage this film at all. I can't say it's a bad film one bit because it isn't. But what I can say is it's nowhere near a film for me to where I can go, fuck yeah, that. Because I don't know. And again, there's it does a lot that I really like, but there's films that does what that does, but just in other ways. Again, again, I could probably watch Bruce Lee films in the similar way, but I just grew up liking martial arts more. So there's that. Or there's a lot of or like I really like the Mad Max films. Really like them. There's elements of, I mean, the fucking truck scene is very Mad Max in terms of choreography. But I just like the zany nature of Mad Max, and there's not necessarily zany. This film isn't zany, you know what I mean? I'm not hot on Raiders, not because I don't like fun, but because it's not my fun. Is the way. It's good time. It's good time. With my final point basically being, film overall is a really good time. That's just a bit silly for me.
Damn.
But that's also not necessarily a negative, because yes, there is silliness to it, but I also think that lends into its charm.
Yeah. I don't think it's that silly. Yeah. Really. It's pretty, it's pretty grounded.
No, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on, like Nazis and stuff.
Like Nazis. Oh, that's another point. I also, I didn't really like the villains, and I don't mean in a way of like...
That you don't like Nazis?
I mean, I don't like Nazis.
What the fuck? No.
Was it last week? Yeah, because we were talking about Come and See, where it's like I called Hitler an arsehole when I know, hot take, right?
Yeah, you crazy guy.
But I think my point being, like, I don't know, they were just kind of like a bit faceless. Like, there was nothing to them, really. They were just kind of like, me, I'm the evil man, and what, haha.
Yeah, that guy's got a great fucking look and vibe to him, that guy. The little fucking glasses on, and his leather coat and whatever, and his little hat.
As we've determined when talking about a lot of things in the past, there's only an aesthetic could get you so far for me.
Yeah, but his performance is good. He's like he's a sniveling little dickhead. You want to
I think he's really good for what the film is giving him, but I don't think the film's giving him a lot other than like,
you don't need any more.
You're a little evil man, do that. And I know that is like the type of films, but I also think that's the reason why I don't necessarily clamp onto films like this. Is like with a big action film, I need like with like an action film, I need an antagonist and a protagonist, and I need to feel like I'm like, holy shit, I want to see them fucking get what it is. But apart from just being like, I mean,
it's a race, man. They're racing to get the Ark. They're Nazis. It's big power. If they get it, they win the war. I'm rooting for Indiana Jones.
No,
I don't need them to have like big fucking motivations. And for example, I don't need them to want to turn back time to try and make it so that he would take the place of Hitler and then he would win the war or whatever, because he thinks that he could do it better than Hitler because he's like a enraged scientist or whatever, just to pluck a hypothetical out of the air.
I'm not defending that film. All I'm saying is I don't know. I would have liked a bit more with the villain.
I don't need it. It's fine.
And to me, I've discovered that I need that in my films, because I've also realized maybe that's why I don't click with a lot of the MCU, because a lot of those villains, especially in the early part of the MCU, are dog shit, man. They're fucking awful.
It's Jeff Bridges, man. That's as early as it gets. Jeff Bridges is great in that.
I know. I need a bit more than just.
I ain't got that.
Sorry. I'm a little evil man.
No. Sorry, a second. Sorry. I don't want to digress too quickly into talking about the MCU and why you're wrong. But the early days villains. I mean, I'm not doing this. I'm going to do this. Jeff Bridges is great. He's fantastic. Thor, it's Tom Hiddleston Loki, who is fantastic and an amazing character, who still is amazing to this day. Captain America, we have...
That's why I don't think the first Thor is awful.
Yeah, it's great.
It's not great.
Incredible Hulk, we've got...
did watch it.
Eli Roth,
so
but that's...
move on, did watch it.
He's fine.
Tim Roth,
Tim Roth, there you go. Not Eli Roth, different guy. Tim Roth, who is fine. That's probably the weakest one. Captain America, you got Hugo Weaving doing a fucking great, fun, campy villain throwback to these kind of movies performance.
Again, as I said, he's just like
in First Avenger.
Man, and that's it.
He's got a big fucking red face. It's great. It's good fun.
Again, aesthetics can get you so far.
But he's good. But he's fucking good. I'm like that. To be fair, I am that I'm that movie's like number one supporter. So that's fine. I like that movie way more than everyone in the world, seemingly.
I don't even hate First Avenger. I like it more than Winter Soldier. There, I said it.
That's insane. Then the first Avengers movie, you got Tom Hiddleston back. So what?
Yeah, again, and I like it. And I like the Avengers. I like that one.
Yeah. So what we're complaining about here?
I'm complaining about every other fucking villain. You got like fucking. We're not doing this.
Don't just do the boring thing and pick Christopher Eccleston. I swear to God.
I wasn't going to.
Good.
But
that's the one everyone does.
But he's an example. You got Ronan in Guardians of the Galaxy. It helps that there's a bunch of people in that film that I like a lot anyway. That I can just not give a fuck about the villain.
Yeah, you don't need to. It's more about them coming together as a fucking family or whatever.
Which is why I like it. Which is why I like those fucking films.
Same with this. You don't need to. It doesn't matter about the villain.
Yeah, I wish I liked. I was rooting for Indy and Marion more. Then is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wish I was doing that, but I didn't. So
he's got to solve some puzzles and find the arc.
I wish I saw more puzzle solving.
Oh, come on, man. Get out of here.
Give me more. Give me
Get
more.
out of town. Oh my God.
I would have liked to have seen a film of just Indy going on his own adventure. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Well, you're not gonna get it ever.
No, I know.
That movie doesn't exist. I'm sorry.
No, I know. And I know. I'm just saying it would have been interesting to me. It's the same reason why it's like with the Pirates of the Caribbean films where I'm like, you know, it'd be great if Jack Sparrow would just go and find treasure.
That would be awful.
Just do that.
An entire movie of just Jack Sparrow? Are you fucking kidding me?
Not just Jack Sparrow.
I was gonna say that would be insufferable.
No, but I mean, can that just be what like it's Jack Sparrow and other people? It's just a treasure hunt. I don't need a convoluted ass thing where it's like, wait, you're my dad.
Yeah, fair. I thought you were gonna say you don't need like, oh god, you know, we got like fucking zombies or whatever. I'm like, that's what.
That's rad.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
You're not gonna find me complain about Curse of the Black Pearl one bit. That film fucking slaps.
Great.
Every other film though.
All right.
Not good. Not a good one. In that franchise. Anyway,
Insane.
we'll rope in our final points of Raiders Lost Ark. Again, as I said, class film just doesn't necessarily click with me. Robbie, your thing and star rating.
It's still one of the greatest movies of all time. It's 5 stars, obviously. If I could give it 6, I would.
And it's a very strong 3.5 for me. Official Oscar W. Fisher rating 3.5 stars.
Oh my God. I want to punch a hole in my laptop.
Hey, we have moments, but you know.
Oh my God.
Hey, with the intermission.
Yeah, man.
Shall we look to see if anyone said anything?
Oh yeah, go on then. See what people have said.
I don't know how this section goes. In terms of,
I've had a DM from someone that I work with, saying something made in a Western English speaking country after 1995. So that's good.
Okay. Who did you say said that?
It's someone that I work with.
That's so bizarre. So funny. Hey, all I'm saying is if I don't get specifics, what can I do? You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Here we go. We've got some. Here we go.
Okay, God.
From Gary.
Oh, fuck. Well, we're already off to a bad start.
We got Love Bethany.
No. That would be a fun episode, though, to go over it would be a fun episode to go over the FMPs.
No, it wouldn't.
It would be a laugh.
Not for an intermission episode.
Yeah, it'd be good fun, I think.
From Hannah Richardson. We've got Emo the Musical. I'm not familiar with that.
I have no idea what that is.
But also, why am I not familiar with Emo
hang
the Musical?
Let me Google this. Is this a real thing?
It is. It's a 2016 musical comedy.
Oh my God. Well, let's watch that one day.
I could throw it in as a possibility.
Sounds
Ethan, Ethan, a sullen high school student whose life is defined by what he hates, finds love with a blindly optimistic Christian girl, Trinity, much to the annoyance of his angst-filled bandmates and evangelicist brethren. Oh, that sounds like a fun-ass bullshit time.
Sounds great.
Hey, fuck it. If it's Emo the Musical, is it like if it's a jukebox musical and if they drop Black Parade?
Yeah, then great. Then well,
that might just. Joseph Caslin.
Yeah.
Says Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, great movie. Sure.
And
I liked it when Bill Nye was a Pikachu at the end. Not a Pikachu. He was a Pokemon at the end.
he was a Pikachu.
He transfers his consciousness into a Pokemon at the end.
And Tyler McCulloch.
Oh God. What's he said? What does
he said hot. He wants hot fuzz with 2 kisses at the end of it.
Yeah, well, so do I, Tyler. Actually, that's a good idea. I love that.
And all I'm saying is, and I'll say it now. And I'll put it out there. Obviously, we haven't ended this season yet. The season also technically will go on until the Halloween special, the Christmas special, which both those episodes are already planned out.
Hell yeah, man.
This function won't take place within those episodes, but within the next season, season 6. To finally, because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I put a lot of effort in trying to think of the films to put in. Yeah. And we all were of the understanding of knowing what this fucking podcast was. I'm speaking to everyone. I'm speaking to. We were all of an understanding of classic, iconic, and obscure films from times gone by, with the point being, we're looking at the oldies, the oldie films. Yeah. That's the point of them. I'm sick of it, of when I put a lot of effort in trying to think of the films lists. Yeah. And then all I get is shit for them. Yeah. Oh, Oscar, can we actually do something we've heard of? Not the point, mate. Fucking not the point of it. Oscar, I'll do. Wow, you'll get more views if you talk about the Wow, you'll get more views and more people will watch it if you talk about recent ones. We did Barbenheimer the week after it came out. It's got fuck all views compared to a Charlie Chaplin film. So I don't know what you're even thinking about there, mate. Just saying, if you want to pull that as a reason of, Oscar, you should do more modern films. Well, tell that to 60,000 people who have watched Way of the Dragon. Fuck off. Don't shout at me. You're all not watching them. So.
Yes.
And it's all been sullen and gloom and doom with this season. I get it. You haven't liked the films a lot this season, Robbie. I get it. Why should you give a fuck about the red shoes? I get it. I understand it. So I'm taking the control out of my hands completely for the next season. Yeah. And I've compiled a list on Letterboxd, which includes all of my films that I own, all of your films you own. I've sprinkled a few from Netflix, a few from Now TV, a few from Prime, a few from Disney Plus. I've thrown loads and loads, a lot of current day ones as well, modern ones. You know, there's films such as The Banshees of Inisherin within that. I've thrown that in there. There's films like fucking Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. There's a few Marvel picks, and you know what? Each episode, I'm going to hit that shuffle button on that list, and whatever is the first film on the list is going to be the episode. So I've taken it all out of my hands. Yeah. Fuck you lot. I don't need the abuse. If you don't like that, we end up talking about an Inspector Gadget for one episode.
Unlucky.
Who gives a shit? Unlucky. We'll do it. Yeah. So there you go. But my point being as well is I'm also going to throw the films in that list. So. I'm not throwing in Love Bethany because it's not a feature film. Although I could because it is on Letterboxd. I could just throw it in there if I really wanted. Imagine that. We're going to break down my film.
Imagine what's your deal with this, Robbie? I'm like, I thought it was shit, actually. It's that one, no.
I'll throw Emo the musical in.
Yeah, throw it in. Okay.
I'll throw Detective Pikachu in, and Hot Fuzz is already in there.
Great.
But those are the only. Oh, is there any more responses? Is that it? We'll double check by the end of the episode. No, that's it at the minute. But yeah. That's a little section. Intermission. What else is there to discuss?
I've got nothing. I've got one thing.
What?
Got my first TV credit.
You did?
My name was on the telly.
The way you said that.
It's good, isn't it?
Mom, my name was on the telly.
Mom, my name's on the telly. Yeah, man. That's fucking cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was
to scroll.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I try to scroll and it's not on your IMDb.
Is it not?
But then I checked and on the Emmerdale, and I had to scroll so far down because on IMDb it's just listed as season 1. Like,
oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
season breaks since it's a soap. So I had to start from like, what was it, 1972 or whatever the fuck that stuff. I just had to keep scrolling until I got to 2023, and then I got to it. And so far, the Emmerdale IMDb is not fully up to date yet. So the most recent one is like early July. I'm like,
okay, shit.
So the episode you would have been credited on is not even like an episode on IMDb. So
motherfucker,
but your IMDb is going to be such a bizarre one to look at.
Yeah, but yeah, it's on there. My name came up underneath a job I don't do, but it was on there, so that was good.
Nice one.
Yeah, it was very weird, surreal feeling.
Yeah.
But nice,
Cool.
Nice to know that I had to do that thing. Fucking ITVX, by the way. Fuck. Because obviously, I watch Emmerdale all goddamn day. I don't want to watch it again. So
you're just trying to skip. I think I know what you're about to say here.
Skip to the credits. As soon as you get to the credits, fucking no. I've got the premium, man. I don't have the adverts. But as soon as I get to the credits, all this shit pops up. Suggested watch next. You should watch. Yeah. Why don't you watch Vera? Fuck off! I don't want to watch Vera. I want to see my fucking name. It's just covering shit up, and I have to go back and fucking make sure I don't. Oh God. Yeah. So the video that you saw on my story was like the fucking third take of that shit. Because fucking Vera kept popping up. God
fucking
damn.
Vera.
Fucking Vera. Don't know when they're starting shooting again.
Oh well.
So I'm backing up their goddamn rushes. That's fun.
I visited you in Leeds over the weekend.
You did. Yeah, you were. Oh yeah, you were here. Oh yeah, that guy.
I was.
Yeah, that fucking guy.
And Rhys wasn't. Should we update the people? Because I realized when we were talking about it last week, we were like, oh yeah, Rhys is going to be up. No, boy got COVID.
No.
Imagine COVID in 2023.
Imagine the fucking cheek of it. How embarrassing. This guy.
I'm curious. And I don't mean this in a way of like, I'm curious of what that weekend would have looked like if he was there. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a way of like what the fucking living situation was.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we stay at this. Because, I mean, once I put that air mattress up, where the fuck was he going?
I don't know. He was coming into my bed with me, I guess.
Goes up and snuggles up me.
Yeah, you can crawl up there. He'd have banged his head a few times.
Like what? Like he sits up and just...
No, on the headboard.
Oh dear. Yeah, no.
No, I did mean because there's a low ceiling, not that I was going to be violently fucking raised. You can cut that out.
I'm not cutting it out, Robbie.
Please cut that out.
No. Why? Why?
I don't know. I don't want it to be a genuine record of me saying that I was going to be violently fucking raised.
You've said a lot worse shit than you've allowed to pass on the podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
I
don't remember any of it, and I'd like to not.
Like the example of you hating crossfades.
Well, that's just a mistake, isn't it? That's clear, Should I do one of those? Should I do an apology video? Where, where like
so funny.
Where it starts and the camera's like on the sofa and no one's sat down yet, and then they like sit down because they're trying to make it look like it was unedited. And then like they do one of those like
you do the
yeah, you do like a I never thought I'd have to make this video. It's right. It's one of them.
It's dark.
I love it.
As a lot of you may know, Sorry. I just a lot of you probably may have noticed that on a past episode I stated that that all cross dissolves are bad, and I just want to say that as a lot of you who were disappointed by me, and I noticed a rapid decline in my Twitter followers and my TikTok
and honestly,
audience.
And honestly, no one's more disappointed than me.
And no one's. You know what? when I started this career, I never wanted this to be the thing. This is one big family, and I never wanted to make you all disappointed in me, and I'm so sorry.
It's so funny.
But we're going to get back right to it, and
thank you all for sticking with me. And I hope that we learn and grow from this.
Do the fucking, what was it, in the kissing booth where he switches off the
oh my
screen,
God,
yeah, goodbye.
Yeah.
But it's like yeah, talk to you later.
Yeah. I'll look off camera at someone like, I think they fucking fell for it. You know?
Shit, we're still recording? Wait.
Oh no.
Do a live stream on the intermission.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's like,
there was an Instagram live.
Fucking phone, yeah.
Oh, that's so
anyway,
funny.
But also, round your flat, we were editing the Moose. I need to make notes here, actually.
Yeah.
But obviously it was like, now let's watch some cinema. And ladies and gentlemen, what did we stick on for cinema first night?
God.
Boom, Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie.
Yo, and that shit went crazy.
It fucking did, man.
Oh my God.
And then the next day, what did we do? We had a little Rhys on the laptop with us.
Yeah, we had Rhys on a little FaceTime.
And they was like, what should we do? Let's watch the last 2 episodes of Wizard of Waverly Place to see how that ended.
Not as good.
Then what do we see? I don't know. I mean, it was a TV budget thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just mean story-wise, I don't think it was.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely not.
No.
Then it's like, then what do we see? We see, there was another thing that came out after the special.
Oh, yeah.
Alex versus Alex.
Yeah.
We watched that. That was fine.
Yeah, that was the weakest one.
Yeah, I was like, then we stuck on, what was it, the Sweet Life movie?
Yeah, we watched the Sweet Life movie.
Bizarre. Oh, I didn't like that one. I didn't like that one bit.
Made me feel weird and ooey inside. I didn't like it.
Might be my least favorite film that we watched. The least favorite thing that we watched.
It was so scary.
I mean, I haven't watched a Sweet Life episode in a long time, so I don't know if I would just find it infuriating. But for some reason, with that film, I was finding it infuriating. Like everyone.
Yeah, I didn't like Zach or Cody.
No,
which was a shame.
And then what was the last thing?
We watched Finish and Ferb across the second dimension.
We did. That was a fun time.
What a good time. My God.
That was a good little time. And then you stuck on an episode of What We Did in the Shadows, which was also a nice little time.
Yeah. We watched a lot.
Do you remember when we went to meet with George for drinks, and then we were all about to leave, and then we got engrossed in that boxing match.
Yeah, there was a guy fighting in like a Barbie robe.
Yeah.
I mean, he took it off to the fight, but he was wearing like Barbie shorts. That was like
Barbie
girl dad.
Well. He was girl dad. He was fighting the gentleman. Invested.
Oh, the black rooster.
The black, which was also his nickname as well. Yeah. We got invested in that shit. An hour later, we were like, we were going to leave an hour ago, but then we just watched a boxing match like a bunch of lads.
Yeah. This absolute girl boss going at it. Speaking of girl bosses, England's in the World Cup final.
Yes, my mum told me about that.
Well done, everyone. Good on them. Hell yeah. It's coming home.
I don't give a fuck about football, but yeah, sure.
Ah.
My mum walked in to my room earlier today. Like, just walked in and knocked on the door. All she had to say to me was like, the England women's team have won they've won the quarter, they're into the semis, is that it?
No, they won the semis, they're into the final.
Semis and in the final. So she told me that. I was like, okay. She went, just thought you would like, no. No, okay. Never expressed any interest. Never in my life.
England v Spain final on Sunday.
Sure.
So that's exciting. I'll be watching that.
Will I be there? No.
Will you be where? England or Spain?
No, about.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't know. I'm going to see Oppenheimer and IMAX on Sunday.
Oh, shit, son.
So, yeah.
It's exciting.
Make sure not to be fucking in the first 3 rows.
Yeah, no, bad idea. Big chin. Big Buzz Lightyear boy.
Rather not.
No, thank you.
But yeah, Yeah, I haven't picked up. Yeah, I think. I think that's about it. We saw
Yeah,
each
I
other
don't
on
have a
the
lot.
weekend, so we don't have stories. To
Yeah,
tell
we
each other.
don't have a lot to tell each other because we've done it all. We spoke already.
Do you know? It was nice actually being in Leeds. You actually being
Yeah.
in the same.
Oh, it
place
was.
as you.
God, it was lovely. Because
it reminded me why I like seeing you and why I like talking to you. Because we didn't just bicker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because sometimes we come on like we chat for a bit beforehand, but then it's into the podcast, and the whole bit is that we don't agree on things, and
I mean a lot of this season especially.
And then we just kind of we just kind of bicker for 2 hours and then call it a night because I have to go to bed or whatever.
Yeah, but it was nice just sitting. But it was nice just being able to sit down with you, have a pint, have a burger, and bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Talk about shit. Oh, it's nice. Yeah. We should see each other in person more often.
We should do that more often.
We should actually do that. I mean, hey, since we didn't get the muse finished, maybe we can actually. Maybe when Rhys isn't fucking riddled, maybe he could actually colour grade.
Maybe bring him up to do the colour grade for a weekend.
Yeah,
that'd be lovely. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh God, should I stay at a hotel? Should I look for a hotel?
Stay here. It'll be a laugh. I'll figure something out. We could put a single airbed at the bottom of my bed.
Okay, would that fit? Would it?
Yeah, that'd fit there. Yeah.
Okay. I need to bring extra pillows as well because I sleep with 2 pillows anyway.
Yeah.
In life, and
always could go on the sofa.
I brought a pillow with me over that weekend, and God, fuck right.
Uncomfortable.
It was more. It took a while.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, no, but when you're back from your nolly days.
Yeah.
I know when you're back from your holidays, that's going to get close to the Saw time up here.
Oh yeah, go Socks.
So, go Socks. We're gonna watch all of them.
Yeah,
into Socks.
Yeah, very nice.
We can figure out a way of all of you staying in this house, so none of you have to get out now.
Oh hell yeah. What
a scene that is. That's like I feel like that'll be a dumping ground situation. Just like me, you, Rhys, and Anna in under one roof. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Why? What did we do for dumping ground?
No. I mean like as in like the dumping ground, as in like.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like a bunch of kids under one roof.
I thought you meant when we shadowed at the dumping ground, we all stayed in the same place, and I was like, I don't remember ever doing that.
No, we didn't.
Was I drugged? Did you drug me?
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be a thing. That'll be a fun little time. All of you up here.
Yeah, that'd be.
I'm trying to think of that living situation. I have my bedroom. There is a spare room. I think I have 2 air beds. I have previously had in the spare room. I've shoved an air mattress in the alcove that does fit in there in the spare room, and then another spare bed can be in the down living room, which has happened before. Yeah. So
sounds good.
We could have a situation in my bed. I go in my bedroom. You and Rhys can have the spare room, and then Anna can have the living room. That's a possibility.
Yeah,
Bish bosh.
Bish bosh bosh.
Anyway.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any more to say. I think that's I think we're writing things in. I'll double check that. I'll double check that story. Has anyone else said anything? Fuck off. Damn it.
What's this? What do you got?
We got a Rhys Bruce.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes. What's he said? We do have to put it in the list. Oh, for
Treasure Planet.
God damn it. I don't know why I'm angry about that, because I like that movie.
No, it's more so what it represents.
It's just more, it's because if we, now that it has to go on the list, if it got shuffled,
there's a strong possibility.
If it came up, that's just doing an episode for Rhys.
Right. Well, I will admit, I will say this though, because let me load up the list now. I'm not going to do a random now, but I'm going to look at what it says now. Right. At the minute, I still need to put the Laurel and Hardys in because I still haven't done that yet. So I still need to put the Laurel and Hardy films in. But at the minute, there's 1,574 films in that list.
Oh my god!
That's exciting. Not even. Yeah. So
I'm excited about this as a format.
I'll do an example. For example, I know what I want. Obviously, we can't do it. I know what I want to start the season with.
Yeah.
I'll say it because people might. I want to start the season off with Parasite.
Oh, cool. Yeah, sweet.
Because that's the highest rated film on that we haven't on this list.
Oh, okay.
And also I still want to keep the trilogy separate though.
Yeah.
We still end the thing with a trilogy, but we just end up doing like we randomize 9 other films and then we end on a trilogy.
Yeah.
And why can't one do? I want to do one season of trilogy for you, another season of trilogy for me. So I already know what trilogy I've got next for the next one. But for example, if I hit shuffle now, where's the shuffle thing? Here it is. If I hit shuffle now, for example, we will have to now talk about a film called Where is the Friend's House, which is a little Iranian film from the 80s.
Great.
But then we go from that, and then, how about we shuffle again? What's that? Oh, we got Blood Simple, the Coen Brothers' first film.
Great.
And then another one. Then we got like East of Eden, a James Dean film. I'm trying to see if there's a silly one that could come up.
Yeah.
Come on. That's a documentary. There's also documentaries I've got on that. That's a Hitchcock film. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is also in this list.
Fuck.
So,
oh no.
But also in this list, I'm looking at it right now. We've also got the Best Friends film, the one with Greg Sestero and Tommy Wiseau. That fucking film.
Great.
Got a film called Doubt, which is a drama starring Philip Seymour Hoffman and Meryl Streep. We got What Happened, Miss Simone. I think it's a Netflix documentary. Bonnie and Clyde is a possibility. Ghosts of Girlfriends Past is in this list. We could do a whole episode on that.
Great
film.
Fantastic.
Alita Battle Angel. We could do a whole episode on that. Blade.
I find that film very funny. Blade's great.
Pan's
I'd
Labyrinth.
love to do an episode of Blade. Have you seen Blade?
No.
Oh, man. I think you'd fucking love Blade.
Example being, we've got a whole... There's loads. And it's a variety
of
shit. So you can't say it's my choice.
Yeah.
It's just whatever I own, whatever Robbie owns, and whatever people are recommending. So,
yeah.
But yes.
Sweet. With
that being said, should we begin to wind down in terms?
Yeah, let's fucking do it.
In terms of this, so I realized I didn't mention it. Obviously, you can go on the in terms of links in the description. There is obviously, you can, Instagram, Letterboxd, all that jazz.
Oh,
See what we're doing there. Obviously, the Instagram is where we announce when and where the episodes are, where you can watch the films and whatnot. I got slightly called out by Lewis, and similar thing to what you did. Lewis, when he messaged me, and I quote, stating that, where is it? Oh, here it is. Indiana Jones is also on Disney Plus, Oscar. The superior streaming service. And I went, yeah, I'm aware of it. But also, fuck the mouse and fuck by Bob Iger. You shill, is what I called him.
Well, yeah, fair.
But I also did put Disney Plus is also in the description, but there's only so much I could have in that graphic.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I already have the Now TV logo ready in that graphic anyway, in the file. Again, it's in the description. I do say it as well that it was also on Disney Plus. But I also saw you put and it's also on Disney Plus.
I'll do it on every single one now for a bit.
Yeah, you can for just the next two. It's just the next two.
No, on every single film that we talk about now for the rest of the time, I'll put it's also on Disney Plus, by the way, whether it is or isn't.
Like we talk about a fucking
Yeah,
we talk about like an Andrei Tarkovsky film.
Yeah,
It's
also on Disney Plus, by the way.
Hey, Machete, also on Disney Plus.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Be good if it was though.
Imagine. I feel that wasn't a Fox film.
No.
But also links and time codes like you need them now, like you need to be known about that now.
Come on now.
At this point, I'm gonna try to get all the audio on the podcast feed because I might try to see if I can do it all before this episode's released. So they might all be up on there by now. Who knows?
Sweet.
But also, as always, mental health things in the description. Always.
Oh yeah, man.
Always near preface saying that. Any links? There's a variety. It's not just one. Loads, and not just in the UK. even in America, overseas, whatever. Check them out. If you or someone that you love is in a particularly dark place and you feel like you need someone. There's links in the description to be the first step towards the solution. And next week, obviously, film discussion. Yeah. We're talking Temple of Doom next week. I'm interested in my thoughts on this one. I'm interested in my thoughts.
Same.
On this one.
It's the problematic one. I know we had a whole talk about like pedophilia in this one, but
we'll see how much.
This next one's there's some weird stuff in there. To be honest.
We'll see if we can tick off the amount of problematic things in the Indiana Jones franchise.
Yeah, I mean the third one's fine from memory.
From memory, from memory.
I don't remember anything being problematic in Last Crusade.
I didn't remember anything being suggestive in Raiders until I was a child, until that line flew out. But yes. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching and or listening to this episode. Until next time, guys, sign us off, Robbie.
See you in a bit, love.